So recently, a lot of my friends have been going back and playing some older games, and they realized they didn't remember the password. Somebody was going to send me their computer to help them out fixing the problem, and they told me, please don't log out of my bank account because I don't remember the password. Today, we're going to go over something that can really help out people that fall into these groups, and even people like me who don't normally forget passwords but can use something to help improve my overall security on the internet. What's up, everybody? Dimitri of Caddac Gaming here, and today we're going to go over password managers and why I think more people should be using them, and especially with the ever increasing amount of logins that everybody is having. You know, every year you're signing up for new websites, new services, and having unique passwords becomes extremely difficult. Majority of people probably have like 10 or less passwords that they use across everything. And the problem with that is that if you're only using one email, someone gets access to that one email and that password, they can get access to a ton of your private content. Now, chances are, if you've ever used Chrome, Firefox, or Safari, you've already used a very basic password manager. When you've logged into a website and it's asked you if you want to save that password, or if you've entered payment credentials and it asks you if you want to save those via the browser and not the website itself, that's a password manager. Google's is cross-platform. It applies to your Chrome desktop. It applies to your phone if you have an Android. And you can use it everywhere. Now, the only problem with that is that Google, as a company, really doesn't care that much about your privacy, and they probably sell portions of your data. Using something like a password manager, however, you can also get that cross-platform usability, but it'll help you create new passwords, store other information. So I store things like door codes, recovery codes for certain accounts, certain numbers. So like I have a few like identification numbers of mine saved on my password manager, so that if I ever need to get to them, I have them there. You can save payment information, you can save IDs, you can save all kinds of stuff, and some of them will even have storage for you to use. Now, the important thing to know about password managers is that most of them will have what's called a master password. It is one singular password that allows you to get in to your password manager, and then you basically randomize all of your other passwords. So the master password is the only one you need to remember, and remembering that password allows you to have access to all of your others. Your master password is therefore extremely important, and you should put a lot of effort into creating one that does not have anything that can be linked to you in any way, because you don't want anybody to be able to guess it or figure it out. It's also recommended that when you create your master password, you write it down on a sheet of paper and you keep it somewhere extremely safe. In a safety deposit box. Now, I've put in my master password quite a bit, so I don't need any help remembering it, but I do have my master password on a sheet of paper that I've given to my parents, so that if they ever need to get into my accounts, if something happens to me or whatever, they have that ability. Now, personally, I use Bitwarden, and I really like Bitwarden. There's a lot of options out there. There's OnePass, there's LastPass, there's NordPass. You know, there's a whole bunch of them. I personally chose Bitwarden because they are open source. They have a lot of integration. They have a lot of really great security features, and I really liked a bunch of the stuff that they implemented. They may not have as many features that some people will like as other password managers do, but after watching the Lawrence Systems video on them, I was convinced. I used them. Their premium is like $10 for a whole year, which is nothing, and I've really been enjoying it. I've used it for the last year and a half or so. It's been really awesome. Yeah, as I mentioned, I use it to generate new passwords when I'm signing up for accounts. I use it to store information that is not necessarily a password. I use it to have my payment information on there. I have some of my ID numbers in there. Using the gigabyte of storage, I have a few pictures of my passport and my driver's license in case, you know, I'm ever traveling, my passport gets stolen, I at least have an image of it that I can utilize. Bitwarden also has these really good reports on your vault, and the vault is just the collection of logins that you have, and they can tell you if your username and password has been exposed before. It'll tell you if you have reused passwords somewhere. It'll tell you if you have weak passwords. It's really good, and it also shows you accounts that you don't have two-factor authentication enabled on that you probably should. Now, my friends know this really well, but I always try to push for people to sign up with two-factor authentication on as many accounts as they can. It makes it really difficult that if someone does get your login information, it makes it a lot more difficult for them to get into your accounts. And two-factor authentication is just so easy, and it really isn't like too much of an extra hassle to not warrant that extra security. So if you do have anything that you don't have two-factor authentication on that you can, I highly suggest you do it. So yeah, in this day and age, something like a password manager is extremely helpful. You'll reduce the amount of times where you're, get locked out of an account from forgetting the password. They're cross-platform, they synchronize, so you can have it on your computer, you can have it on your phone. If you are doing something on someone else's computer, you can log in to your password manager and you can have your login information if you have to log it to something or do payment or what have you. It's really great. If you guys would like me to do a more detailed video on Bitwarden itself, I'd be more than happy to. It is really easy to transition to what you're doing now into using a password manager as well. Most of them have import features that you can import all of your safe passwords from Firefox, from Chrome, from Safari. And it makes it really easy then to transition over to these password managers and then improve your security. So over time, it took a while, but all of my important accounts, I changed the passwords, I made them all unique, they're all randomized, they're all saved in my password manager. I got two-factor authentication on everything, so now it is extremely unlikely that those accounts will ever get compromised. And if they do, they're very secure in a way where I'm probably not going to lose that account. I've had tons of my accounts hacked before, as I'm sure many people have. My old emails, my Rockstar account, my Origin account. And when you lose a game account, you're losing money, right? If I were to lose my Steam account, it's got over 1,000 games on it, and that's a decent chunk of money. My Origin account's got 30 or so games on there. You're losing money if you lose these accounts. So keep them protected, use a password manager, and I really hope that you guys think of your online security as something that's way more important than what people really place it right now. It's really important, and people should be taking their online security a lot more seriously. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. As I mentioned, it really helps me out. I appreciate everybody who likes and comments on my videos, everybody that's subscribed. We're getting really close to 1,000, so I really appreciate all of you out there, and I hope that we can continue to grow together. If you have any questions or comments about today's video, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Or as always, you can go ahead and join our Discord. We can have a little bit more of a discussion. I'll leave a link in the video description below for that. I stream on Twitch from Friday until Tuesday. Come check me out and say hello. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer it there in the live chat. And thanks again for watching to the end of the video. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next Friday.